So I'm here with Adam Glovsky, the CEO of Affinity Nightlife. How are you today?
I'm good. Blessed to do what I love, man. Excited to be talking to you today.
I'm very excited to be talking to you. So you've become the it nightlife guy. I've been to a few of your events, and almost everything that's happening in Hollywood has something to do with Affinity these days. So congratulations to you.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it's been pretty surreal. About a year and a half, I pivoted and was doing a lot of different things, doing consulting for hospitality groups, throwing weekly parties at nightclubs, and I realized that it just wasn't making me happy. I'd rather do less events, but focus on the quality of people and production. And that was kind of the direction in general where uh, people's needs were going. So I think it worked out pretty well.
So what inspired you to start Affinity, and how long has it been around?
You won't believe this. We've been actually around for over 15 years. I started Affinity Nightlife when I was in grad school at Fordham. It was kind of something I was just promoting clubs for fun when I was living in New York. I'm originally from Los Angeles, and sometimes you just do something and you're good at it. And I started bringing out a lot of models, and then the celebrities wanted to be with models, and then I started getting hired by different brands to do events, moved to LA, and kind of just kept the train going.
So you're not originally from Los Angeles.
No, I am. So I grew up in LA, South Pasadena, went to college at USC, and then went to grad school at Fordham in New York. And that's when I started working in hospitality and nightlife. And then I moved back to LA after, I think I was in New York for about 5 years.
Wow. So it says you guys have done over 1,000 red carpets.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty crazy how, you do 30 to 50 a year and it kind of starts to add up. And Uh, I've been, kind of dealing with kind of this A-list, celebrity crowd where it's someone's birthday, a dinner. We always want to make sure that it's really elite, upscale, refined, and it starts that up. And
Right. So I've been to a few of your events. Thank you so much for inviting us.
always.
Yeah, I was just at your Dream in Gold post Emmys gala at the Academy.
Okay, cool. Do you have a good time?
I did. There was a lot of people I had never met before. There was a few Emmy winners. There was a couple TV legends there.
Yeah, absolutely. So I where where I am right now, and basically what I'm building with Affinity Nightlife is I'm trying to bring Hollywood back to what it used to be, in terms of actually having celebrities and great people in LA who have really amazing jobs in entertainment who want to go out and socialize and have fun. I was actually telling Jen earlier that some of the not your A-list actors, but some really good actors, entertainment personas. They don't go out, and I wouldn't even use the word party, like really socialize, unless it's a movie premiere or the Emmys or the Oscars or some really big event, because it's just not part of the culture anymore. But by adding on the red carpet, gifting them from multiple sponsors, creating an environment with elite production, lighting, filling in all these details, making sure they get ushered in by a great PR team and have a great experience, and knowing what they like to drink ahead of time, kind of taking hospitality back to what it used to be. we've been able to get a lot of those people to consistently come, which is cool.
Yeah, so I do know that about a lot of celebrities, including A-list celebrities. They don't go out much. They live in fortresses,
Yeah.
which makes sense to me, but you throw these parties where they're amongst their peers and colleagues, so it makes it more of a thing to go to.
Yeah, so that's kind of I look at each event as you know its own entity, and the goal is if it's the Emmy Awards, we want to get a bunch of good TV people. When I'm throwing my own fashion week in a couple of weeks, we want to get some really amazing fashion people. And then what starts to happen is our community builds into all these really cool fashion people, music people, you know, athletes. I'm not talking like basketball and football players, but you know, tennis, gymnasts, and then all of a sudden you have this melting pot, kind of like what Studio 54 was, where wow, I'm not going to network with these people or even meet these type of people if I don't go, you know. And there's a lot of business that can be done, you know, especially now with social media and you know people paying to get in front of some of these tastemakers. Um, there's there's something to be said for being face to face with people rather than going through managers and DMs and all these you know walls. Like sometimes you just hit it off, you know, and it ends up being someone that you make billions of dollars with. And I've seen it happen multiple times.
Right, yeah. I mean, the glory days of Hollywood, you kind of had to be out and about in order to make those connections. And I feel like you've brought that back to Hollywood.
I think so. I'm getting there. So I still I'm doing the a lot of the events like you saw at Academy at big spaces. That's gonna the next evolution for Affinity Nightlife is we're gonna start to do smaller, more curated events, and even more reclined, upscale places, which we do now, but it's going to be more of an emphasis on that. We're working with Paramount Plus for the 50-year anniversary of the AMAs. We're doing our own fashion week, and it's also going to be the grand opening of the new W Hollywood. It's kind of taking a step towards you know curating those experiences that you can only get at one of our events. And I got really motivated. I don't know if you saw the Studio 54 documentary. There was a couple of them, but there was one that it wasn't a movie. It was on Netflix or something. But just the level of thought that went into that room and being able to walk in there and have the biggest movie stars in the world next to you know huge Motown artists, next to you know uh, different LGBT members, next to you know the best baseball player, and then you look up and a huge celebrity is performing, and then snow is coming down, and people are able to do what they want and let loose. And it just um, it's so cool, you know, and LA still has so many good people, you know, no matter what, you know, we've had some issues with the film industry. Uh, I want to do something special for them in my city.
Yeah. So I haven't seen that 54 documentary, but I've seen tons of them. I've seen tons of the movies. I grew up like idolizing like Factory People, Studio 54, those eclectic scenes. And that was the scene I was in last week. Like I interviewed somebody that was on a Jesus-based show by a drag race winner, followed followed by a TV legend. So like I love that eclectic melting pot that I mean LA is all about.
Yeah, and it's interesting because you know, I go to a lot of events in my spare time, and you go to an event that in the film world, it's all actors, right? You go to an event in the music world, it's all music people. You go to something with EDM music, and it's all EDM lovers and kind of no celebrities. But to be able to kind of curate that really eclectic group where it's it's a little bit of everything in a really, really good way, you know. Um, I think it used to be so much more normal, and I'm glad that I can kind of help bring that back and that excitement. I don't know if you had a chance to come to my Young Hollywood party that I did. I've done a couple of them this year, but that kind of came back. It's kind of bringing back those fun days of, Britney Spears with half her head shaved off, and Lindsay Lohan when she was, you know, how she used to how she used to do things, and Paris Hilton and Kim Kardashian, and LA was the mecca of the world in terms of going out, and that's not gonna change overnight. But I feel like when I do my events, we're starting to recreate those experiences, and I love it, and I've gotten positive feedback from the guests, and only going to keep building it.
Well, I think you're doing it already. I think you're doing a great job. Also, like what impacted that whole scene was the pandemic. Like
Yeah.
it all died out for a couple years, and those people that were throwing parties, they were having like fines and power being shut off by the city, etc. That I think it just kind of died for a moment back there.
Well, yeah. Well, we basically LA got put in a tough spot. Nothing. I'm not the governor. I don't make the rules, but it's weird when you can go to Miami and go party all night without a mask on, and in LA, New York, other major metropolitan cities, you were stuck at home. So what happened is a lot of those people that were, really into going to events and parties and social gatherings, they moved to Miami, they moved to Texas, and a lot of them didn't come back. Um, and you're having a similar issue now with a lot of the actors in that they're doing so much filming in other cities that they're not here as much. But despite that, LA is LA, and I listened to actually listened to a podcast this morning. It was Joe Rogan and Peter Thiel like months ago. And Peter Thiel was like, I'm not going anywhere, man. The weather, the people, and you have so many great people here. There's no reason why people should be traveling to Miami or Europe and not be able to, have a great experience with great people and thoughtful production, in their backyard.
Definitely. So you're doing it. The hospitality business never dies. It's 24/7. That and like the medical industry never stops for the most part.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's crazy, when with what I do now, like the level of detail that goes into each event. I'm working, anywhere from 10 to 15 hours a day during the week, 48 hours on the weekend, making sure that all the details are right. Especially in the beginning, as I'm very carefully people in LA, Hollywood, nightlife in general. Not everyone is a big fan of me doing things that are a little bit against the grain. By that, I mean the way a lot of nightclubs operate is, they book a DJ, turn on the lights, and it's Saturday night at this nightclub. By doing one or two big events a month, spending a lot of time getting the right people there, curating the right experience, and you have people going out less, people are choosing my events, and it hasn't harmed my relationship with them, but they're aware, and if I were to not be so successful, they might not be mad, but um, that I just won't let that happen, because uh, I know that, being from here and having had all these just iconic moments that I'll never forget, meeting such great people that I need to get people off their couches, It's it's time, you know.
So what is the next big party you're planning at the moment, if you can disclose that?
Oh, of course. So the next big one is the AMA's 50th anniversary special. So we're working with Paramount Plus on doing a build out for that. And then the really big thing I'm working on is my own fashion week. So I have a brand called Lookbook, which is a pop-up, but this is completely different than anything that's ever been done in LA. We're working with Creators Inc., a couple of the biggest talent agencies in the world where people can pick out talent to walk on the runway. It's going to be not a lot of fashion shows are in uh, either showrooms or warehouses downtown. This is going to be at the W, where they just did a $200 million renovation of the entire property. Second best surround system in the country next to the Sphere. View of the whole city. It's going to 30 designers, 200 models. Red carpet, all the biggest media, talent walking in attendance. It's hopefully going to change the way people think about fashion, which is kind of what I'm trying to do in general. Like, you don't have to leave LA to see a great fashion show. You don't have to leave LA to go to a great party or event, And I think a lot of people are currently kind of thinking that way, and hopefully, I'm starting to get people to see that, hey, this is these events are pretty cool, and he's keeping consistent,
Awesome.
and you're definitely invited.
Oh, thank you.
Hopefully you'll go, right.
Yeah, I'll look out for that email.
I'll shoot you the invite.
Yeah, so thank you so much for talking with us. I've always wanted to put a face on the name since I've been to your parties. I've seen the name. I know Affinity. But I had never met you, and I look forward to meeting you in person.
Yeah, same. And I'm grateful for you guys covering all our events, and so is our community. We've really been able to build up. I've been able to build up a big following on social media, and also just in general of people that are looking for these really unique experiences. And I owe it to people like you that let people know what we're doing to keep that going. So I really appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Adam.
All
I'll see
right.
you very soon.
Thank you. Thanks for your time.